On the offensive line overall as the camp goes, what was it like to take those reps with the first team today?
It's good to be able to get reps, period. And it's even better to be able to go against the best competition, which is the first team. You know, you line up against an all-pro player in Henry Melton. You know, you got to get your work in. And Stephen Pea, you know, there's strength, there's speed, there's all kinds of stuff across the ball, and you know, it creates a lot of issues for an offensive line. So we're just trying to get out there and work through that stuff here at training camp. So come season, we'll have it all patched up.
Is it kind of a situation where going against the best, you just kind of learn that way, or is it more kind of you learn what you still need to know? I mean, how much there is to still know?
I don't follow.
Just in terms of, you know, when you go against the best players, that usually brings out the best.
Yeah, well, when you go against the best guys, you're kind of forced to rise to the occasion. And if you don't, which happens sometimes, you take your lumps and you just move on, and you have to forget about it. You have to develop amnesia. I remember when I was a pitcher, I used to have to develop short-term amnesia. You know, you give up a home run, you need to go back and get the next guy out. And that's kind of what taking these snaps and reps are like with the first team.
How comfortable were you playing with those guys?
I'm getting a lot more comfortable. The first few days, I will admit it, I was really uncomfortable. I didn't understand where I had help from, that kind of thing. And, you know, now I'm kind of getting an understanding of that and getting some comfort in my reps. You know, it's starting to slow down a little bit, but the game is still extremely fast. So we're getting there.
We saw you almost catch up to Brendan Harden. How close were you?
I don't know. I just kind of put my head down and started running. I saw which direction he was going, and I tried to get a good angle on him. Just trying to save a touchdown. You know, you don't want turnovers to turn into touchdowns. And that's something that they preach here, so I want to show some speed as well.
Kyle, is this the most you've learned in a week ever in your career?
In my life, probably. You know, except for like finals week, senior year, you know, you get senioritis and then the finals come up and you have to cram and all this stuff. But this is the most advanced learning curve I've ever had to be a part of. And, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm here to learn, I'm here to become a better football player, and I'm trying to be a student of the game.
Obviously, it's a different place, a different system and everything, but you kind of had to go through a similar thing when you got to Oregon, correct?
Exactly.
So does that kind of help? No, I mean, obviously, it's a different level.
I've had to expedite my learning before, but not to this, you know, not to this scale. It's a lot of stuff you have to learn, and there's a lot of expectations that come along with being a draft pick, especially a high draft pick. And just got to try to go out there and keep learning every day and try to improve little things, work on one thing a day. You can't really overwhelm yourself by trying to fix it all in one day, because, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you know, offensive linemen don't learn in one day. So.
Kyle, who have you learned from the most here? I mean, be it a coach, an opposing defensive player, or somebody else on the line. Is there anybody in particular that you've just learned the most from?
Well, Cromer does such a good job. Our offensive line coach, our offensive coordinator, does such a good job with trying to simplify things and really, you know, pound away at the technique. It's a technical game, and he wants us to be technicians. So.
You've worked with many coaches, I imagine, especially in situations where you've got to learn quickly, you know, going back to football in your career. Is there something about the way, I guess, Aaron in particular just teaches that it gets through?
He leaves no stone unturned. I told him when I got here, assume that I know nothing. And, you know, it could be true, it could be not true, but that's what I wanted him to assume, and that's what he's done. And he's really taken the time. And, you know, I go and meet with him extra and stuff like that, so I'm just trying to get this stuff taken care of while it's still practice. So when the time for the game goes around, I'll be ready to go.
And is it fair to judge your progress by the amount of first-team reps you get? Is it that simple? I mean,
I don't know.
It seems like you're getting more and more, and I can only assume
who's
that
counting? You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is it that's my question? Is it fair to count that?
I don't think it's fair to count first-team reps as progress. I feel like you look at the film, you go in there with your offensive line and your offensive line coach, and you get critiqued. You need to be able to learn from the criticism you get, because it's all constructive. And you want to become a better football player every day, and that's what I'm here to do.
What did you think of Oregon's new practice facility?
It's unbelievable. $68 million, I think. That's a few third contracts. Unbelievable. The things that they've been able to do there, the opportunities they provide for their student athletes and for the fans, and just the students there. It's incredible. It's a great university to be a part of, and I'm glad to be part of the Oregon family.
Thanks, John. Appreciate your time. Thanks.